If you or your loved one is a Mets fan, you need to check on them ASAP, as this seems like the move that the Mets owner Steve Cohen was talking about in an earlier tweet about the Pope, as Kyle Tucker has signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers on a 4-year, $240 million deal. What's going on, guys? King of Under 61st Gen. I'm back into the video, and let's talk about this from the Dodgers perspective. Then we could bring it around to everyone who missed out. So, the Dodgers sign Kyle Tucker to what is a $60 million average annual value. I'll be honest, when it popped up on my notifications that the Dodgers have acquired Kyle Tucker, I was really mad. I was pissed. But seeing that, I don't think any other team in Major League Baseball would have been able to give him $60 million a year. I'm assuming, as it hasn't come out yet, that there are heavy deferrals on this, as the Dodgers are setting themselves up for such a rude awakening in 2040. But right now, they are going to be living the high life, as now they have a lineup that includes Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Max Muncy, Teoscar Hernandez, and now adds one of the premier lefty bats in all of Major League Baseball. Last year, with the Chicago Cubs, Kyle Tucker, even when he broke his wrist and had the worst stretch of his entire career, still put up north of 5 F-WAR. This is someone that every team should have been in on, especially when his market started to tank a little bit, when teams were not going to give him the $500 million he was coming into this offseason with. Every other team in Major League Baseball should have picked up the phone, but I don't think it would have mattered, because even the Mets coming in, they probably, if they wanted him on a short-term deal, were going to want to give him something closer to about a 3-year 150 or something along those lines. 4-year for 200, that is $60 million a year. Juan Soto, under his $750 million deal, is not worth $60 million a year. The only other athlete that is around that is the two-way phenom Shohei Ohtani, which is at $70 million a year. But again, you are getting two separate players in place for for the price of two players. You're getting a $350 million bat and a $350 million arm. And I will say, news is coming out. There are opt-outs for Kyle Tucker in this deal. My question is, why the fuck would he opt out? No matter what he does during this deal, those opt-outs are not worth him testing the market. He is getting $60 million a year. There is no other time when he's going to get more. He should wait these 4 years out and then get another long-term deal, because he'll still be in the back end of his prime or just coming out of his prime. For Kyle Tucker, this was masterful. This is one of the best moves he could have possibly done. He got maximum value. He's getting paid $20 million more than Aaron Judge. He's getting paid more than Juan Soto. He's getting paid around the level of Shohei Ohtani. Kyle Tucker's agent deserves a round of motherfucking applause, because it's not Scott Boras. And to speak on Scott Boras, let's talk about how this affects the rest of the market, because there are still plenty of guys out there that are waiting on deals, possibly waiting on this one to drop, with the lead guy probably being Cody Bellinger. Now, like I brought up earlier, Steve Cohen put out this tweet about waiting on the smoke to come out of the chimney, referencing the decision making of the Pope, and clarified that he was waiting on a decision from someone. In all likelihood, he was waiting on a decision from Kyle Tucker. That did not pan out. Where does he go from here? Well, there's still an outfielder on the market for a team that desperately needs an outfielder, and that is Cody Bellinger. Now, Cody Bellinger wants about $200 million for 7 years. The Yankees and Cody Bellinger are in this stalemate right now. Steve Cohen can come in right now and overpay the shit out of Cody Bellinger and steal yet another New York Yankee from the Bronx. Would that be smart, though? I don't believe Cody Bellinger is worth more than the 5 years that the Yankees are giving him. Do I think a team will give him more than 5 years? Eventually, I think it'll get to 6. I don't think he'll ever get to 7. Right now, if Steve Cohen is that pissed about Kyle Tucker going to LA and he is really set on competing this year, he'll possibly come in and overpay the shit out of Cody Bellinger to make sure he has an outfielder. To me, I don't think that's smart, because right now, the way the Mets are constructed, I don't see them competing at that highest level with or without Cody Bellinger. They lost their first baseman. They got to figure out the infield first. Yes, they're going to replace that Brandon Nimmo area, but this lineup has been kind of peeled back. And if you look at the pitching staff, Onatong needs time to develop. Sproat needs time to develop. The only guy who seems like a surefire thing is Nolan McLean. And then Kodai Senga dropped off a cliff. Who knows what you're going to get from the other starters that they have? It just doesn't seem like a match made in heaven to overpay the shit for Cody Bellinger. To me, that doesn't seem like a chips all in type of move. But Steve Cohen possibly just got embarrassed. So we'll see what he starts to do. Let's bring it back to how this affects the Yankees. I think the Yankees should be a little embarrassed that they weren't even discussed as being a part of these. Yes, they have been brought up as being able, they have been brought up in having checked in on Kyle Tucker. But to me, that's not enough. To me, you should have been actually trying to hammer home this deal. But now seeing these numbers that are coming and how much he actually costed, I'm not that mad, because the Yankees were never getting there. The Yankees were never in a million years getting to $60 million a year, even on a 4-year deal, even for a guy like Kyle Tucker. I don't care. They were never getting there. So am I pissed that he's a Dodger now? Yes. But on this level of a deal, I don't think he's going anywhere else. But what do you guys think? Do you think that Kyle Tucker made the right move? Do you think that Kyle Tucker should be a Dodger right now? Do you think the Mets fumbled the bag? Do you think the Yankees fumbled the bag? Let me know down below. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Hopefully, this means that Bo Bichette, Cody Bellinger, and all these other free agents still on the market start to come off. But until next time, I'm out of here. Take care and peace.